Hello everyone, Shana here, and we're on a case of urban legend today. It's quite personal, a little bit personal actually. It's about 27 Club or Club 27, and being the person that is born on the 27th of January and in his 20s, it's kind of eerie to think about, but we will see what happened to me when I turned 27. This is gonna be a bit different from last time. Last time we did kind of like I show things on screen by post-production, but this time we taking to another level, so don't mind my clutter and the background. I would credit this in the description. Now there's no need to rush because I'll edit them, I'll do it one take, but I'll edit them into a smaller video. Okay, okay, I'm gonna show you this. We have a PowerPoint. This is gonna act as our detective board. I thought of going with a code board, but it doesn't quite register well with me because it's hard to see the line connecting the dot and all that. So we're just gonna use a white background to see what what we have on screen. And right now you're looking at the table of content kinda. The 27 Club. Eerie coincidence, only famous artists and performers, pattern, conclusion, urban legend. So we have an empty slide here, which we add as we dive in and investigate into this case. Alright, so we're gonna start with the Wikipedia. And I'm not gonna read like everything on this page and just, call it a video, no. I'm gonna read this in silent and then I'll summarize it for you. Okay, so to summarize this, mostly just this part here. 27 Club is about people who die at the age 27. They come to conclusion. They have conclusion that people that die at the age of 27 have high risk lifestyle, as you can see here. High risk lifestyle. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next part, which is cultural perception. Okay, so the cultural perception, from what I gather, is about people who died in 1969 and 1971, such as Brian Jones, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and Jim Morrison, dying at the age of 27. Most musicians, and then there's artists and actors, and most of the cause of death for these unfortunate people, unfortunate soul, usually by drugs abuse and violent means like homicide, murder, or accident, like not teleportation, transportation accident, so car accident basically. And still, it has been refuted by the scientists. Oh, this is like the common age for musicians to die at, right? It's still refuted. Okay, we have another entry here, which is, I should note this down actually, like, seriously. So, okay. Is this too bright for you? Hopefully not. Okay, so, summary of 27 Club. Right, notable artists die at age 27 is refuted by scientific research. Cause of death is often drug abuse, OD. OD means overdose, by the way, for those who don't know. Homicide, murder, and transportation accident. So we have this summary. It's a topic of cultural. That part is kind of weird. I think that's better. Notable artists die at age 27. It is refuted by scientific research. It's a topic of journalist discussion in the entertainment culture. Cause of death is often drug abuse, OD, overdose, homicide, murder, and transportation accident, car accident. So we have noted this now. This will be important later. Okay, we're gonna build on top of this, and we're gonna unpack it at the end of the video. Wikipedia is mostly neutral. They are unbiased, so I can comment on these as an individual, or someone who's curious as thing like this. All right, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna summarize it. Okay, so this is a little bit weird and bonky. People associate white lighter to like have a cigarette or like joint. That's a that's a term that we call to cannabis, weed, smoking weed. They have hippies. Some of the American movement is like peace, during the Vietnam War. Now this may not be tied directly to this topic that we talking about, but it is an interesting note to talk about. Like like the one I talked in the previous video, which I linked to the Soviet Union and its civilians and all that. This one is about people who associate themselves with the hippies and the freedom seekers or stuff like that. People would carry around a lighter to smoke joint. People would go to concert to get high and get drunk. It was during peace time, so going to war in Vietnam it seems contradictory to these people who doesn't want anything to do with war. A lot of people back then smoked not only weed but cigarette and tobacco stuff like cigaretto. I don't know the term for it. I don't smoke. When you are under extreme stress, especially going on tour, and you know you have to perform multiple times in just 1 week. Sometimes you perform like twice in just one day, or like two consecutive day. That's gonna wear, it's gonna wear a toll on you, and you're gonna need something to blow off. Sometimes it's smoking, like this. Sometimes it's about just having swing with other people. By that I mean having sex with like fans or loved one, spouse, something like that. So basically big is tied to this because they're like one of the most biggest lighter maker out there, at least in America. In Thailand we have our own brand. Okay, so this is gonna be lengthy because it's a really long one, and I think it's the most important point in this page. All right, I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna summarize it for you. Okay, so basically, it wasn't until Kurt Cobain took his own life, suicide, that this thing become a sensational thing that is widespread. And gossip, rumors, news. When there's something on the news, people would associate that as a fact back in the days. They don't really have tools like we do nowadays where we can check anything. Kurt Cobain's mother, cool. Now he's gone and joined that stupid club. I told him not to join that stupid club, which we'll talk about later, but it's very interesting. It's very interesting that Kurt Cobain suicide would be the turning point for this kind of like myth, urban legend that is small but become widespread across nation and worldwide. Okay, we're gonna finish the history of this with this thing, and I'm gonna read this one too. This is very interesting. Okay, so this is, man, what the fuck? I didn't expect this to be so dark. Okay, so this is kind of dark. It's pretty dark. It's not too out of the book for me because this is the type of thing I would be reading back in the days. But I don't expect to be reading them now, especially when I'm still healing from the wound. For just this part alone, some media interpreted his mother saying, Kurt Cobain's mother saying, not to join the stupid club. It one of the source refer it to the family matters, and then it follow up by the fact that the press and the media try to frame this as, oh, he timed his death to join the 27 club. And Cross himself, I'm assuming this is like the band member, said that he wouldn't do that just to join the 27 club. He has overdosed 2 times and almost died a year prior. He attempted suicide at various age multiple times across the span of his life. So he didn't do this intentionally. Well, just according to Cross himself. And then this little thing here is interesting because 17 years after Cobain's death, Amy Winehouse died at the age 27, and that just fueled the media and the press even more with the death of someone who, after 17 years of Kurt Cobain's death, would die at the age of 27. And the spokesperson for Amy come to say that she reckoned that she would join 27 club, saying, "I have a feeling I'm gonna die young." Imagine being like in your 27 or maybe younger than that, and just like, "Oh, I'm gonna die young. I fear that I would join them." I have that feeling too because I am in my 20s, and I was born on 27th of January. This is Kurt Cobain's, I would say, suicide note, right? Okay, time to read the suicide note. That's very selfish to live to 19 years old unless you have something to offer, like maybe William Burroughs. I definitely don't want to be that old. I feel more bonded with the Jim Morrison type of living on the edge, rock and roll poet in a conservative way. Kurt Cobain said this. It's not really like concrete proof or an up case to it to be alarming. It's just that people die young back then. That's the sad part. It's just they overdose. They got murdered. They got into a car accident. But this scientific research, I would like to. Would like to a minute to read about this. So basically, it's an urban myth. Video is over. No, but it's interesting because they did a research, and there is a spike in people's demise between the age of 25 and 32, and even more so with young adult musician. But that's not limited to just 27. It's expand across this age range. And the study noted that young adult musicians have a higher death rate than a general young adult. So basically, if you're a musician, the likelihood of you dying from various sources, various act or consequences or anything like that is increased, and it's not tied to the age of 27 because they live in a high risk lifestyle. And here's an interesting point. People, young adult musician likely to die at the age of at 56, which is 2.2% compared to 1.3% at 27. Now this number may be small, but if you ask me, it's kind of weird that this is probably not the lowest number. I think if it's the low number, then I apologize. And then we have in popular culture. Basically, scientists has debunked this all the way back in 2011 and 2014, or perhaps even before that. But these are the one that is listed on the Wikipedia. I mean, it's an urban legend. What do you expect? All right, being a character. I just find it's pretty interesting because I don't know. I'm learning music and I feel like I'm gonna die young. I'm not trying to make anybody sad or anything. I like, oh, don't say stuff like that. It's just it's bad for people to think of you like that and have to be careful around you. I got that a lot back then. This may be personal, but I got that a lot back then. I would say something like, it's probably due to the fact that I had a chronic severe depression, and I would say something that is outrageous. to other people that I didn't realize because I was living like that my whole life, thinking that I would die at any time. I wasn't afraid of that. I knew that it was coming. I was just waiting. I never tried to attempt to take my own life, nor did I hurt myself. Not intentionally, anyway. And I think I said this while I was playing Apex Legend with my friend. I said something like I was having tight chest. I was like having a headache. But I said something like my heart aches. I feel like I'm gonna die soon. I feel like I'm dying. And those two friends were like, "Whoa, why do you say that? It's just it's just like bad." That's when I realized that how how deep I am in this situation. I never realized how bad like my brain would be. Like I never thought how pessimistic I am or how nonchalant I am about life and death until someone that, you know, they value life, especially their friend's life. They have to be the one that knocks some sense into me. And I appreciate that. But at the same time, now that I think about it, why don't they just comfort me or something? They just stop me like I am like a troublemaker. So instead of, oh, oh, please don't say it like that. And I'll be like, oh, okay. It could have been handled better. So I can, don't feel too bad. Don't feel like you're gonna die young. You'll be fine. Some motivating word would be nice. But I didn't get any of that. I don't blame anyone. People have their own way to manage through the hard life that they live in. And you have to handle your friends' life, your families, your loved ones. It's difficult. I understand. I don't blame anyone. I just wish it could have been better. Now that we are over with drama on my own, let's move on to popular culture. So there's a lot of, I'm not gonna read all this, by the way. There are gonna be a lot of reference. The one that I know is this one. In the video game Hitman 2016, one of the in-game missions, Club 27, involved killing an indie musician who is celebrating his 27th birthday. I know that because I played that game, and that's all I'm gonna talk about the culture references here. These are IA identified members, so it's not starting with like a rock star like Jimi Hendrix and someone like that. No, it's date all the way back to Alexandre Levy. Sorry, English is not my first language. And cause of that is, well, not recorded, which is kind of weird. And I think it's very eerie to me. It's even more eerie to me because he died on January 17th. That's my cousin's birthday. So we have something in the house where it's just people just there's at least at least 4 members that born on the same month, and 3 of them is on the day that ended with 7. So 7, 17, and mine, which is 27. It's pretty eerie thinking about it. But if you think about it in like the grand scheme of things, that's not impossible. We just happen to. There's like billions of us, so the chance of you dying on certain day at a certain age, it can be a coincidence sometimes. But if you dig deep into it, you're gonna find your own truth. And my truth, well, we'll see when they turn 27. Anyway, that's just a little sidetrack of mine, and we have a long way to go. Alright, so we have 27 Club. An area coincidence? Only famous artists and performer? Are there any pattern? Is there a conclusion? We know it's an urban legend. Summary of 27 Club. Notable artists died at age 27. The theory is refuted by scientific research that people, or well, young artists die at the age 27 more often. which isn't true according to research. But still, there are people out there that is in the field of entertainment and musician, performer, and all kind of in a role in entertainment industry that died at the age 27, and is a topic of journalist discussion in the entertainment culture. Cause of death is often drug abuse, overdose, homicide, murder, and transportation accidents or car accidents. Notable points. Kurt Cobain's death has been popularized by the media to associate his death with the 27 Club. Cobain's mother said that he joined a stupid club, which then was interpreted later below. Eric Segalstad asserted that she was actually referring to the tragic family matter of Cobain's two uncles and his great uncle, all of whom had committed suicide. And then we have the final page here, which is a notable member of 27 Club. Notably, I know, well, Miss Cobain, I think, and Jimi Hendrix. I'm assuming I don't know all artists. All right, back to the detective office. So this is recorded on a different day because the last part about the video was too lengthy, so I have to cut it out. It would be like 40 minutes if I include that in, and I was like half asleep at the time, so it doesn't make sense of what I'm saying. So here's my thought on the 27 Club. What I thought is that some people, like the people in 27 Club, that choose to live in a life in, high risk, high danger, high reward, it's a risky life. They choose to live in that. It makes us think about human condition. Art would drive us in a really particular direction. It's very interesting. And we resorted to luxuries or addiction that made us feel a bit less numb over time. Of course, not all people that is mentioned or related to this video die because of drugs or addiction. Some was murder, some was in a car accident, but most of at least the majority that make it into the headline or the news, they die because they choose to live a risky life, and that's why they die so young. I'm not blaming them, by the way. This is just me talking about factual thing. I don't blame them for living like that. It's their choice, it's their life. But it makes us think that even if you are a musician or in a world that it's force a lot of pressure on you, some people just fall into those addiction, but some of us never fall into those addiction. Some of us, we remain vigilant. We do not engage in those type of behavior. We surround ourselves with good people, and sometimes they surround you as a good people. Quite a poetic end. But I don't really have much to say about this because it's just an urban legend. There's no real nation or meaning in the end because it's all just a coincidence. That's what I believe. Yes, that's my final verdict. It's a little coincidence that we associate ourselves with and make a deal out of it because it's a fun topic for some people. I don't think this is fun. I would say this is morbidly curious topic. We still have issue in our entertainment industry where people abuse body, sexual assault, and that kind of thing is still a thing. The peer pressure in the Hollywood with like this kind of abuse from drug abuse, like overdose, right, from the 70s or the 80s, is still here with us. People do cocaine, people do heroin, and we lost good people. Good people that could potentially make more art and inspire many others. Some would be pessimistic enough to end their own life. And some people romanticize that, which I don't. Is not cool. People just find this to be a morbidly interesting topic to talk about, like me. But it's pretty tasteless if we reject all the human element in it. We are still human. We still a man, a woman, anything in between. We have the right and we have the choice to make, and those choices will lead us to a life that we want. So I would like to ask you something. What choices did you pick to get this far? What choices did you pick to end up watching this video? What choices did you pick that you end up watching a video about people dying at the age of 27? Comment down below because I'm really curious. As for me, well, I probably won't die in 27. It says 24 before. Hope not. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see more like this is still pretty experimental. You can press the subscribe button down below. And if you really enjoy my content and want to help me get a new eyeglasses, that's the goal right now. You can donate to me on Ko-fi, which is going to be in the link down below. All the references and sources will also be linked down below as well. I would suggest you, if you know Porter Robinson, I would suggest you to listen to one of his new songs, which is called Russian Roulette. It's a very good song. And just, absorb yourself with it. And come back to this video. Maybe you'll gain some new insight with the outro that I just made. Anyway, this has been a long project. It took me hours into making and editing video, albeit it's minimalist. But I hope you still enjoy it. But I will see you again sometime another day. Ciao!